Welcome back to the Sports Cage. Barney, Colson, and Allen. Our man Brian Munns had to jet. Things are getting busy. Things are getting real in Winnipeg for Munnsy. So thanks so much for him hopping on. He'll be back. Big news, junior football to start 2025 when it comes to the local Regina Thunder squad. We're going out on the Western Pizza guest hotline. Grab some Western Za tonight or the Greek favorites that you love, the souvlakis, the salads, all that. Call Western Pizza near you today. Joining us, we got two guests from the Regina Thunder, head coach, general manager Scott MacAulay, and new offensive coordinator for the Thunder, Carter Gusway. Fellas, thanks so much. Always awesome when we can talk some junior football at the start of the year, isn't it, Scott?
Well, it's just some exciting times here, and we made a change and pivoted here, and we're excited to kind of get going here with the players here as soon as they get back into school. We'll start with our workouts and get into our indoor camps, and it's definitely some exciting times ahead.
It may be a little bit awkward because he's on the camera and you get to talk about him right now, but let's talk about the new OC, Carter Gusway. How does he come into the fold, and how do you nab him?
What about, I think it'd probably be about 5 years ago, he's put these on 3 phases coaching clinics at our clubhouse. And partly we did because we wanted to learn more about the game from different CFL coaches or even an NFL coach if we could snag them. But also we want to take a look around the room and see who is in the room and who is, interested to be there and love the game of football. And I saw Carter Gusway. It was the first time I saw him about 5 years ago. And I had to corner him and say, like, who are you? What does SL mean? Because he's at St. Lawrence at the time. And I had to ask him a bunch of questions because I'd never seen him before in my entire life. And what do you know? 4 years later, he's on our coaching staff, helping out with quarterbacks last year, and then he's been given the opportunity to become the offense coordinator this year.
Yeah, no, Carter, congratulations. First off, I'm sure you're excited for the role. I was kind of going through your bio here. So you're originally a Regina guy, U of R. Maybe just kind of take us through, like, how do you get to where you are now? Because the one thing I'm really curious about is your stop in Europe.
Absolutely. Well, thank you for having me on. I've had a intense or interesting coaching kind of career, but yeah, I started, like I said, I'm from Regina. This is where I call home. So I went to the U of R thinking like, hey, I did sports management degree. At the time, you got to do an unpaid internship. And in my mind, I thought, hey, I'm going to turn this into a potential job opportunity of something that I want to do, and that's coach football. So I ended up sending out a whole bunch of emails to coaches all over the U.S. and Canada. Coach Puck, head coach of St. Lawrence, he hit me back, said, yeah, free help, absolutely, come on down. So I did my internship. I was the corners coach for him. And then when he drove me back up after my term was over, he said, hey, I got a job opening up coming up. I got 2 guys leaving. He goes, you're the first call I'm going to make. He goes, if you want it, it's yours. And then next thing you know, I was in Canton, New York at St. Lawrence University for 4 years. So it was a good time.
And then from there, you go to Germany?
Correct. So I had some visa issues. Again, just kind of how it works out. I was on the student visa. I graduated, and then it was tough to kind of get that next working visa. So I said, hey, I want to still coach football. I want to try and make this work. I don't know how. And then I just kind of put some feelers out there. And next thing you know, I found myself in southern Germany, which was amazing, right? The football culture in Europe, just in Germany specifically, but in Europe overall, it's something that us Canadians, can appreciate to a certain extent, with Saskatchewan with the Rough Riders, but like they're mad for their sports down there. If it's soccer, if it's handball, if it's American football, hockey, like they just gravitate towards their team in their area and they go for it. So that was a very unique experience.
Are all the rules then they play the American game there?
Yeah, it's American college football rules.
Okay. That's really cool. Scott, like to you, to have a guy that comes in he works with the QBs and stuff last year, but a guy that's got a different scope on things, right? Football wise. And in football, you guys are always learning, whether it's the NFL coaches, you see it, everyone's learning from each other. So for you to have a guy that's not only got a little more of that NCAA game stuff and then this Germany thing, like win-win, right?
Yeah, 100%. Just kind of bring in some new flavor, and that's what he brought kind of into our offense last year. He had some different ideas, and now he's going to be able to bring all those ideas to fruition and make it his own. So we're excited to see what's going to be happening here as we move towards the season, but we've already met a few times, talked about different concepts, and there are definitely things that aren't being done in our league currently, and we'll see how it plays out.
We don't want to show our cards. I don't want to show too much here, right? But Carter, for you, what would be your philosophy when it comes to the offensive side of the game and football?
Yeah, that's a great question. I mean, so my personal philosophy, kind of with football, is all about being able to put players in the right spot. So I think of it as players, formations, and plays. Kind of if I'm looking at my schematics and how I like to build around the best. And there's something I like, it's called FTS, right? Feed the stud, right? We want to find our best players. We want to put them in the best situations and then have them make plays. I'm not on the field, right? I don't make a block. I don't have to catch. I don't got to throw. I just got to make sure I put the right people in the right position to make those plays. And
then also, Carter, this organization, right? Like I learned a lot about it over the last year and what Murad's doing and just this, coming from Saskatoon, I was always aware of the Hilltops, but now what the Thunder is doing, like this is top notch when it comes to junior football organizations.
Oh, it's unbelievable, right? Even just, from my past experience and then knowing about Coach MacAulay and knowing about the Thunder, is an easy decision for me to come on board, join the staff, and then when this opportunity opened up, it was a no-brainer for me. We're just one big family, from alumni reaching out to guys on the team that I never have met before, like past guys, past coaches. I've had a lot of love today, which is pretty nice.
And then Scott, we are hoping to have him on the cage on Wednesday. Also another new coach that you bring in and a guy you're familiar with.
Yeah, Chris Getzlaff had an opportunity to actually coach him on the Thunder back in 2001. So I got a little, opportunity to meet him then. And then we actually both were on the Regina Rams at the same time as well. I was doing the marketing and he was actually playing. And then just to be reacquainted then. And then ever since he's retired, we've seen him around town every once in a while. And he's come out to the guest coach and like an absolute great football mind, but also a real great teacher as well. Carter actually met with him yesterday to talk about some different concepts. And like, it's pretty cool because he's not the guy saying, hey, you should try this and do that. He's more like listening and he's asking a lot of open-ended questions to try to drive the conversation and make everybody start to think a little bit more outside the box. And then he'll kind of drop in a few answers, a few pearls to help us out.
Right on, yeah. We're hoping, like I said, to have Chris Getzlaff join us on the Sports Cage next Wednesday. Guys, congratulations, to you. First and foremost, to kind of come onto this team and or take another step, Carter, and Scott. Congratulations to you. Great year last year, and it's a big year this year, right? Because you guys get to host.
Yeah, having the national championship back in the PC is a big time deal. So we're hoping that we can host it again, just like we did 2 years ago, and make the city proud.
Yeah, there's some bulletin board material for Saskatoon. That was me that said they get to host, not them. That was me. So Sarge and everyone at the Hilltops, Chikai. Boys, thanks so much. Again, congratulations. Can't wait for the season and being all over Thunder football again this year.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
There it is, Carter Gusway and head coach, general manager of the Regina Thunder, Scott MacAulay. Big news. Time for a break. It is the Sports Cage. We are streaming at sportscage.com and on the home of football in Saskatchewan, 620 CKRM.